Hey Dragon Slayers! So today's video is about how age and hormones changes affect insulin resistance. So, growing old isn't for the faint of heart. As we saw earlier, aging is a very complicated process that encompasses countless subtle and not so subtle physical changes and mental changes as well, including thinning or graying hair, weaker and wrinkled skin, and a certain propensity to misplace one's keys. Among these several unpleasant changes are certain metabolic alterations, including changes in insulin sensitivity. As we've seen, it may even cause some aging symptoms. As with weight gain, this works both ways. The older we get, the more insulin resistant we generally become. A number of aging processes and common conditions can contribute to the development of insulin resistance, including age-related muscle loss, also known as sarcopenia, and the hormonal changes that occur with age. However, unlike so many changes, insulin resistance may not be required as a part of the aging process, and it's a process that we can fight. Let's look at hormone changes in aging women and how menopause increases insulin resistance. Menopause is the unavoidable constellation of changes that marks the end of a woman's reproductive years. Menopause also serves as a fascinating example of how intimately our metabolic and reproductive processes are linked. When one is altered, the other usually follows. Several physical changes accompany and are altered during this hormone production in the ovaries, which is predominantly marked by loss of estrogens. A small family of hormones, estrogens not only help the female body maintain normal function in a variety of areas, such as reproduction, but they also potently affect metabolic function. So let's examine hot flashes. As if the sweating weren't bad enough, in a study of more than 3,000 middle-aged women, study subjects experienced hot flashes were significantly more likely to experience insulin resistance. Importantly, the hot flash insulin resistance connection persisted independent of estrogen levels and body mass. In both men and women, estrogen helps maintain insulin sensitivity. We can see strong evidence of this in people whose bodies are incapable of producing estrogens due to a deficiency in aromatase, the enzyme that converts androgens to estrogens. The inability to produce estrogens, in addition to other effects, causes insulin resistance to develop. Of course, estrogen changes in menopause aren't quite as dramatic. Nevertheless, the reduction in estrogen is sufficient to make a woman more insulin resistant than she would be otherwise, and artificially maintaining high estrogens with hormone therapy partially helps maintain insulin sensitivity through menopause, though as we'll explore, it's certainly not the only method. So let's look at hormonal changes in men and how testosterone changes insulin resistance. Some consider the decrease in testosterone that occurs in aging men to be the type, sort of like a type of male menopause. Analogous to the woman whose body is changing due to the reduction in estrogens, the man's body changes due to the loss of testosterone. Among these changes is increased insulin resistance. By treating the man with testosterone, one is able to mitigate these negative effects and improve insulin sensitivity. However, more and more men lately are being diagnosed as having low testosterone. In addition to becoming incredibly common, it's showing up in much younger men that are not considered old by any standard definition of the word aged. Importantly, this is a recent phenomenon, largely a consequence of our altered diet and lifestyle. Later, we'll explore the role of lifestyle in creating the state of low testosterone, which has far less to do with aging per se, and far more to do with how the man is aging. Like the weather, it's pointless to fight our genetics or age, though that doesn't mean we can't be prepared with a plan. As you've learned, at least some of the effects of aging on insulin resistance is through the changes in sex hormones. As powerful as these age-related changes in sex hormones are, insulin, a hormone itself, also has a complicated relationship with several other hormones. So get ready for a sneak peek into all of these torrid affairs. Well, that's what I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. And remember, guys, that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.